Is there something else here though? There's a couple ghosts. This is the most activity I think we've had.
Baldwin, who's the G in MGM. Still here, right?
That was wild.
Welcome back to another episode. Don't worry if you missed part 1, you can watch them in either order. Let's jump back into exploring haunted Hollywood. Join us as we venture into the darkest corners of the world. Prepare yourself for heart-pounding encounters, spine-tingling stories, and the unexplained. Join us if you have the courage. Welcome to the journey and to the unknown as we enter the most haunted places in the world.
Named Ron Chaney used to come and wait for the bus. He could make himself look like this. So he was a famous horror character actor. Before he was this famous though, he used to come wait for the bus here and take it to the nearby studios to do extra work. Now once he became famous, he would still come visit the bench and he'd talk to other actors who were in the same position that he used to be in. When he died, his ghost was still seen sitting on that bench. So much so that they actually dedicated a Lon Chaney bench to him. His ghost loved it. Was always seen enjoying the bench. This bench was here for 15 years, and then one night it mysteriously disappeared, and in its place was one of those bus benches with advertisements on it. His ghost never showed up again. And the city was like, we don't know anything about that. So the whereabouts of the bench are unknown, probably in someone's backyard somewhere. And now you have to stand.
Okay, we're gonna see if we can detect Lon Chaney. Oh, I'm already getting a little bit of something actually. Trying to figure out where the bench is. I know we don't know exactly where it'd be. Oh, we're getting something. Oh, whoa, it's really going up for here. Kind of like right over here. That's interesting. Yeah, we're definitely picking up some EMF on here. Let's see if we can get anything with the pendulum. Let's see if we can talk to Lon Chaney. Is he here right now? No. Oh, dang, that's unfortunate. Is there something else here, though? There's a couple ghosts. I don't think they're famous ghosts, though. I think it's just, like, normal ghosts. Whoa, it's like we were just here or something. That's crazy.
Check out our video, LA's spookiest sites here.
Alright, so we're outside the Ripley's, believe it or not. It's Robert Ripley. It's not quite Valentino. His cartoons appeared in over 300 newspapers and magazines around the world. He would add these little facts to his cartoons and then challenge the reader to believe it or not. In 1929, Robert Ripley said the United States does not have a national anthem. And everybody was like, no, it's the Star Spangled Banner. Everybody was just up in arms about this, writing into Robert Ripley. They're like, I just know this. And he's like, okay, instead of writing me, why don't you write your congressman? So in 1931, Herbert Hoover enacted the law that made the Star Spangled Banner our national anthem. Wow. Did you know we have this guy to thank for that? He put up his first auditorium like this one in 1933. And now there are Ripley's, believe it or not, all over the country. This building, 1913. It was originally apartments when it was first built, and it was 3 stories taller than it is today. I feel like the Bank of the Stars. Like if you were Charlie Chaplin, that kind of explains why it looks so fancy for a Ripley's with a giant dinosaur on top. And then in 1935, Bank of America bought it and they demolished the top 3 floors because in 1933 there had been an earthquake in Long Beach that had killed 155 people, mostly in upstairs floors. So they started cracking down on upstairs floor safety, but it is still 2 floors. It is this floor and a basement, which is kind of rare for California, but a lot of these old buildings actually do have basements. When it was a bank, there was a bank robbery, and an entire family was killed in this bank robbery, except for the little girl of the family. She had been in the bathroom, so she had escaped the crime. Now, she did go on to live her life, but when she died, her spirit came back here as that little girl, probably because it was the most traumatic incident of her life. So the Ripley's employees have seen her running around. Ghost Adventures did an episode here. They were not like me. I'm like obsessed with the history of the buildings. They were more interested in the artifacts that the Ripley's is displaying. So a lot of the employees have said that they don't like to open or close because they see these tribal-looking figures on the basement floor. One employee said that one of these things followed her home, that she saw it in her apartment. Now, they are blaming this on some artifacts that are here from the Papua New Guinea tribe of cannibals. There is a shrunken head here from that tribe, like a human shrunken head. And one of the employees walked past this head and she said that something touched her butt. Now, Valentino does not haunt here, so I don't know who that was. They were especially interested in this guy. This is the West African hate god. It's kind of like a voodoo doll. The shaman of the tribe would drive pins into the doll to curse people. doing their investigation, they were on the bottom floor, right underneath where this guy is. All their equipment starts going off like crazy. So they definitely think that this guy is charged with some sort of energy. But there are West African hate gods at many of the Ripleys. Here's my question. How many West African hate gods can we possibly be coming up with here? Are all of them real, or are some of them replicas? And then if some of them are replicas, well, can the replica have the same energy as the actual object itself? Maybe if you believe it or not.
We're back at Ripley's Believe It or Not. We're going to see if we get anything on the EMF. A little bit. Oh, we kind of lost it. It'd be better if we could get like some bigger activity. It's just kind of small. We're getting something though. There are clearly electronics inside though. It's hard to tell. Maybe it's just picking something else up. Let's see if anything wants to talk to us right now. Is a little girl here? I don't think that little girl's here. Are any of the tribal people here? No. Is there anything here though? Yeah. But I don't think it's anything that wants to talk to us.
The Knickerbocker, construction started in 1925, was a hotel. The downstairs lobby had a swinging bar, dance hall, big celebrity hotspot. Now it is senior living apartments. Why we stick poor seniors in haunted buildings, I do not know.
They don't have to go far. Yeah.
Start with D.W. Griffith. Was a director during the silent film era. He's now, for lack of a better term, been canceled. Did do a lot for the film industry. He was the first director to do a close-up, first director to put the camera on wheels, and he invented concepts like the last-minute rescue and ticking clock, which are like staples in movies. But towards the end of his life, he was largely forgotten. He lived here at the Knickerbocker, had a cerebral hemorrhage right under that chandelier, was found unresponsive and declared dead on the way to the hospital. William Frawley played Fred Mertz, the neighbor in I Love Lucy. He used to live here at the Knickerbocker for a long time, but as he got older, he had to move to an assisted living place just a few blocks away. But one day he was out on a walk with his caretaker, walking right near his old stomping grounds, the Knickerbocker. Well, he had a heart attack. His caretaker dragged him inside, and he died in that same lobby under that same chandelier.
Dun, dun,
So it is beautiful, but it is not lucky, okay? Give that a wide berth if you go in there. I'm going to talk about Irene Lentz, a very, very well-known costume designer from the 30s to the 60s. So well-known, so good at what she did. But on November 15th, 1962, she checked into the Knickerbocker Hotel under a fake name, got super hammered. She downed 2 pints of vodka, and she proceeded to write various notes to loved ones and hotel staff, apologizing for the inconvenience, and she jumped out the bathroom window. It's the 11th floor, it is the very top floor. Where she landed? The awning right above the entrance, which means it has to be one of those top 2 little windows up there. Well, because that's where she landed. Her body was not discovered for hours. So there are some theories. One is that she had a possible affair or possible unrequited love situation with Gary Cooper, who was one of Hollywood's leading men at the time. The other theory is that it might have been because she had accidentally paralyzed half of her face when she fell asleep on a heated blanket and caused herself nerve damage. So people thought maybe she couldn't deal with that ailment anymore. People staying in 1129, and after she had died, they'd go out for the day, see the Hollywood sights, come back, everything would be neatly organized. The TV would be known to change channels on its own or turn on. Marilyn Monroe and her second husband, Joe DiMaggio, they used to come here a lot for their dates. They were able to kind of sneak in the back to avoid all the paparazzi out front. And when they did tie the knot, they had their honeymoon celebration here at the Knickerbocker. After she died, she would show up in the women's bathroom at the lobby bar here where she used to hang out. So often the girl in the bathroom, fixing her makeup in the mirror, wouldn't even realize Marilyn was standing next to her, but then she'd start to vanish. Who else's ghost am I going to tell you has been seen here?
Valentino.
You know it. You know it's Valentino. Now, people swore they saw Valentino in that bar, dancing the tango, which he's famous for, partying the night away. But here's what's weird. So, though construction started in 25, it didn't open until 29. But if you remember, Valentino died in 26. So, kind of ghosts go to a place that they didn't go to in life. One of my favorite things about Valentino is how he'd ride his horse to the bars and get super drunk, and then he'd get back up on the horse at the end of the night, pass out, and the horse would just take him home. Oh my God. I knew where I was going. That's like the Dee that I need in my life, So we just talked about Houdini, right? He didn't believe in all these psychics and mediums and everything. They came up with a pact that whichever one of them died first, they would try as hard as they could to contact the other one from the other side, just to see if it really was possible. They even came up with a code word, so they would know it was them and not some other spirit. Well, Houdini died first. He died on Halloween night, 1926, unrelated to magic, but very weird that it was Halloween. So Bess held up her end of the deal. She held a seance every Halloween. The 10th year anniversary seance was held on the roof of the Knickerbocker. It's kind of a big to-do, a celebrity attended event. It was radio broadcast. One of the mediums, she had a bunch of instruments. And she's like, okay, Harry, if you're here, play this horn. And a car horn honked on the street right at that moment. Keep in mind, this is 1936, so it's not like there's a bunch of cars like there are today. And Bess closes the seance. She says, good night, Harry. And then it starts to rain. But it only rained over the roofs of the Knickerbocker. Not a drop touched a sidewalk outside. Now, unfortunately, the code word was never said. So it was not enough for Bess. That was the last seance she ever held for him. She said 10 years was long enough for me for one man.
We're back at the Hollywood Knickerbocker, and we're gonna see if we get anything over here. If there's any ghost here, we would like to see you. Maybe get your presence on sensor. Doesn't seem like we have anything. Okay, let's see if we're picking anyone up here. Yeah, we definitely are. Definitely, I feel like I'm hearing some souls, actually. I feel like I'm hearing, like, help us. And that's not good. It was kind of hard to hear at the other locations, just because we were right on the main strip, so I couldn't really hear anything. I feel like these spirits here are really, like, in despair. Like, they're kind of in distress. I don't think they want to be here. I feel like they feel stuck. Like, they don't know how to get out. I get the sense, I don't think some of them know even that they're dead.
Down here is the Roosevelt Hotel. Beautiful, beautiful hotel. By, would you believe it, Sid Grauman, Douglas Fairbanks, Mary Pickford, and we have a fourth here, Louis B. Meyer, who's the second M in MGM. Therefore, it's not very surprising that the first Academy Awards ever was held at the Roosevelt Hotel in 1929. It was only silent films were allowed to be in. It was hosted by Douglas Fairbanks, surprise, surprise, in the Blossom Ballroom. So if you were to walk in the front door of the Roosevelt, the Blossom Ballroom is on the right-hand side. It now has a cold spot. This cold spot is about 3 feet in diameter. It's a cylinder. It never moves. It's always about 10 degrees colder than the rest of the room. So that cold spot is actually where the podium was during the first Academy Awards. So we possibly have some residual energy of somebody accepting their first award, or maybe not getting their first award, or it could be Douglas Fairbanks. So my favorite place at the Roosevelt is actually the pool. So this is the Tropicana pool. The nighttime security guard will be in his office and he'll be checking all the cameras and he'll see someone at the pool after hours. So he's like, oh, great. He radios to whoever's on patrol and he's like, Joe Nody's here. And Joe will go back and look at the camera and he's like, no, I see that. They're standing right next to you. So that's like a no for me. Okay. There are some areas that some ghosts can only be seen with infrared lights. So we can't see them to the naked eye. The Roosevelt has been such a popular place for celebrities to stay over the years, and some of them have come back after they died. Especially Montgomery Clift. He, much like Valentino, was known for being extremely good looking. Montgomery Clift stayed at the Roosevelt while he was filming the 1953 film From Here to Eternity. He stayed in room 928, and he had to play the visual for his role in that movie, which he did not know how to do. So he spent a lot of his time in room 928 practicing playing the bugle. If you're staying on the 9th floor of the Roosevelt, you wake up in the middle of the night because you hear someone playing the bugle. Sometimes people phone down to the front desk and say, hey, tell this person to knock it off. But, you know, they can't do anything because it's just watching. He has also been seen sometimes kind of facing the hallway in front of the room as well. But, like, you can haunt me. That's fine. Yeah, all good. I was at the Roosevelt. So this is Marilyn Monroe. So she stayed here for about 2 years back in the 40s before she was really famous yet. She was still doing modeling and pinup and stuff. So this was actually her first photo shoot as a blonde. Not a natural blonde, that one. We cannot all be. This is at the pool here. Free painting, of course, but same pool. So she had this big full-length mirror in the room that she stayed in here. And after she died, staying in that room, her makeup, turn around, nobody's there, they turn around, she's in the mirror. So they actually moved the mirror out of that room. At first it was kind of down next to the elevators and people, both guests and employees, would see her in the mirror. But after that, it was kind of like, oh, I heard it got, put in storage during some construction. But I've had 2 different security guards confirm for me the location of the mirror. So if you go in the front door of the Roosevelt, you go straight to the back, there's a set of stairs going up to the second floor. Halfway up the stairs, there's a big full-length mirror on the wall. That is the Marilyn mirror. So if you want to try and catch a glimpse of her, Humphrey Bogart has been seen out by the pool here, and Carol Lombard has been seen in the penthouse. So when she and Clark Gable were having their affair, they would stay at the penthouse so frequently that it has been renamed the Clark Gable and Carol Lombard penthouse. Unfortunately, Carol died tragically in a plane crash, and so her spirit was showing back up in the penthouse here. You also have, so Babe Ruth stayed here so frequently in the off season that it's rumored that he had batting cages put up on the roof so that he could practice when he was here. Now, of course, they're not there anymore, but sometimes you're out there, you can still hear the crack of that. There's a little girl here named Caroline. She's about 5 years old, and she roams the halls looking for her mother. No, I'm not into that. Don't feel bad for her, okay? She cries my tears. She's probably a demon.
Come play with us, Daddy. Forever and ever and ever.
That's my other limit is little kid girls. It was a local, and they were in the film industry, and they had filmed something here at the Roosevelt on one of the top floors. The scene was a woman was going to commit suicide by jumping out the window. So they had a dummy made that they were going to throw out the window for that part. They're shooting a dialogue scene between the two actors, and all of a sudden the dummy goes flying out the window. The downstairs crew was like, what the heck? We were shooting, we were burning, what are you guys doing? Upstairs crew was like, we didn't. So who wants to go through that from the window? My guess is Carol Lombard. She's like, I hate this script. I can do better.
Okay, so we're inside the 25-degree restaurant inside of the Roosevelt. We brought our EMF, and we're gonna see if we find any activity in here. Okay, so we're not really having any luck with the EMF, so we're gonna try a pendulum. Is there any spirits here right now? I'm kidding, yeah. But there's definitely some activity going on. Not really sure it's one specific. I think it's a couple different souls. I think this hotel definitely is haunted by a couple different people.
They had this giant hot dog, and I enjoyed a Hatch green chili cheeseburger. See if there's anything in here. Doesn't seem like we're getting much activity. We're definitely getting some activity near the piano.
So we are inside the Roosevelt Hotel. It feels a little bit eerie in this part of the hotel. When you're kind of more downstairs, you don't really get a whole lot of energy. It just feels like a lot of people. But I definitely feel like there's some, I don't know, weird, spooky energy in this part of the hotel. Thank you for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like this, then make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know down below where I should go next time.